love your ding-a-ling.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy DJ Darrin. Most of y'all know me as DJ Darrin. That was my joke. Hey, check it out. Back in the day, we were known as A.P.R. We are the originators of the group Atlanta Party Rockers. To make a long story short, right before we get all into details about things we want to talk about, I just want to give a special shout out to my boy Anthony. That's the only person y'all will not see doing this part of this documentary as far as people knowing who the group was and who we're about, because he had passed way before we even got to this point right here. With that being said, like I said, I am one half of the group A.P.R. Over to my left is...
That's David, man. That's the other half, man. Like, me and my brother actually one of the real choreographers pretty much of the group. You know, we started off
really humble. Yeah, really humble. Like I was saying earlier, the group actually got started right before we picked the name off there. We used to watch a lot of guys step. We used to go to a lot of step shows after Georgia. We saw a lot of cues, a lot of different, capitals and things. We had took some of those ideas, even from actual steppers, played on our style a little bit, a lot more too than most people may think. But like I said, I left right when we were just starting to take off. So we would watch a lot of other groups and see a lot of things, but it wasn't that hot. Like I said, the groups we looked up to were like FTC. Hot Missionaries and a couple of other ones. But FTC was our main one because they were in our area. A lot of people don't know, like, they had groups were in certain sections off, but it went by like different counties. You would have Decatur, you had the groups that represented Fulton, Southwest, however you want to, take it as. But we had the whole SWAT spot locked down as far as like groups concerned. We were known on that spot, you had other groups known by that, or you'd be known by what school you went to. Whether you Harper, Mays, Dub, Northside, that y'all know how it went. So, to make a long story short, at the beginning, when we first kind of come up with the name, like I said, I was in Tuskegee, and one day, David, he came and visited me. He said, "Hey man, I want to show you something." And I'm like, "What you want to show me?" He was like, "This is what they doing down here in Atlanta now." And he just walked up to me. He said, "Here, watch this. Look out." And he went, I said, "What is that?" Because we were still like the way we were doing our dancing, we were still doing our popcorn and all this stuff up there. But when in China shows. But we weren't doing like everything else.
We still, the whole roof thing.
Yeah, he said, we just got to put it with stuff. Can you imagine you grab them and you just throw them out the way? And I'm like, really? I said, y'all not playing? He's like,
no, it's a battle thing. This is what it was.
Yeah, so when I got back, here we are like every day for about a good month. When I first got back home, we under the street light, because we call it the post light. This is where it was in London townhouses. We were battling under the street light with each other, just making up stuff. And all you hear all night is, plow!
That's it.
Plow! And then somebody went, what in the world? Boy, y'all go to bed, you got school in the morning. We were like, oh, sorry, Miss So-and-so. And they shut the windows, pow! So we up here trying to learn, man, but that's all we can do. So we jumping around and coming up with all these little things to do we call it like, we said barking, and we call it roofing, they just woof them. Because it sounds like you barking like a dog, that's what I say, woof them, man. So at that point, we said, man, we need to come up with a name. So we thinking all these names. And we were down with them. So I don't know who yelled out first. I think Will did. Will said, man, Atlanta Party Rock. Because I think it was that song Party Has Just Begun. Yeah, the party just begun, so we like Atlanta Party Rockers, and all of a sudden we were like, yeah, okay, that's our name. And every night we would do these little practice of these steps, like in my mom's house, as far as like just coming up with different groups, as you would call them.
Right.
But we didn't think about when we'd be battling other groups, but we did that just in case. Right. It was like, man, well, we ain't got nothing else to do but just roof at people, man. That's all we do.
Like, it's really funny. Al, because Al, he's one of the original movies that I did. Al was like always revving up other groups to get mad.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was the instigator.
Al was the instigator. Al, you know this. Every time, Al like, he'll walk up to the middle of the floor, and Al like, he'll start us here getting off. Me and him, we ain't have like the whole set group routines. We just knew what we would do.
Right.
And right before then, Al would be on the floor. Al be like, walk up to somebody. I think he did a takeover. That's when we first met Gitz. this is the original story. This is how we first met Gist. We went to it was on a Saturday night.
Right. And Jelly was jumping Sundays, man.
Not Saturday night.
Sundays.
You think it was Sunday? I still sworn it was a Saturday. We're gonna go with Sunday. We're gonna go with Sunday. I can tell the brother attention. But we went in on Sundays and we were on the floor. Me and him, I remember us standing against this little. The dance floor couldn't have been no bigger than like probably a kitchen, a small size kitchen, a box size. But some kind of way, it had a whole bunch of people on it. I mean, we were like, and me and him, we all in the back against this wood panel wall. And the group, Gist walked onto the floor. Al, he's like, I'll be back. Al disappeared. So me and him just standing there. You can imagine, two guys, we just standing. This our first like battle ever. Gist and were dancing. They were roller skating, and all of a sudden they came onto the dance floor, and we looking for Al. All the girls like, who they going? They doing their little thing, and we're like, who is that? And they were like, oh, some, come and get some. And they doing all the little wave steps and stuff. We like, I'm like, what in the world? So we still didn't know what's going on. All of a sudden, Al. He's over in the corner somewhere. I'm like, what Al do? Al's like, what's up? You wanna tick? You know it's a true story. And he went over there, and all of a sudden, the whole floor, people looking at us, and we stepped back. Al went around and said, come over here. If y'all want some, come over here. So Gist, one of the guys went to the floor and got the rest of them. He got Chicos and all of them. Everybody come on to the floor, and me and him were the only two standing there. We didn't know they were coming at us. Mind you.
Yeah, it was so funny. The crowd was around us for a minute.
All of a sudden, they disappeared. And me and him were all up in the front. Like, man, what's happening? What they doing?
They're right in front of us, like, yeah.
They in front of us, man. This whole time, we still didn't know we were going to get whatever. So me and him both standing there like, man, what they gonna do? And they started dancing, and they were, doing that, like the, reach up your prep and all that. They were just doing it. We were like, oh, they finna jam, they finna dance with us. And all of a sudden we standing there, everybody looking at us, we like, what? They went, we just shaking, what in the world? I said, I looked at him, and I looked at David again, I said, and then Will behind us, pushing us in the back. Get him! We gotta get him! We're like, what? And I looked at David, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, that's when they come into play, and then, pow! That's when our first battle. And then, we're not gonna say what went on, but then everybody that was there know what happened with that. So it won't be no ifs, ands, ups about that.
Who won?
We won at first. They know we got on that one because what we were doing was like kind of new to them, and they gave us our prop for it, and they know it. Everybody know crowd jersey. Yeah, you know it, and it wasn't. So it wasn't like no bad thing about that. But that's how we first got our respect as far as like with that crew. And then from there we just had mad respect for each other after that.
They won battles every time.
Yeah, every time they saw us, we did battle. So we don't know if
was always like,
I'm gonna get you. Tico did not like that. Like a lot of guys didn't like it. But the originator, like when we first started skating, which a lot of people don't understand. I know y'all heard a lot of stuff about skates and things like that. That's something that we excelled at. We actually took it. We were the first ones to take it to a whole different level. But I'm gonna give that whole thing as far as skating to Bobby. I don't know if a lot of you knew him. He used to dance with FTC. He was one of the original. He actually stayed where we stayed at.
Long time.
And we were dancing one night. Like I said, we were just practicing we had all kind of like attack moves. We call them attack moves because we just wanted to get in there. And we thought if group crew saw us, come at them real time, like one time real aggressive, that they would like back off. So we'd be over there. But we never actually started into the battles. People always kind of like set us up because we were always the new cats. They ain't know nothing about us. And at that time, Bobby said, "Hey man, I see you guys out every night. I'm gonna show y'all one thing. And what y'all do with it is up to y'all." So we look at him like, "Okay, well, this old cat, I'm sure, you know how I go." All of a sudden he did something with his leg. He was being all smooth, and he turned to the side and said, "I said, oh," he said, "yeah, we be doing this on roller skates. Why don't y'all put it on the ground?" And we looked at each other like, "Huh?" He said, "You know how y'all be selling roller skates? Here, do like this and put it on the ground. I'll come back out and y'all let me know what y'all did with it." True story. And that night he showed us, and there we were. Just roller skating. Everybody, we talking about how y'all see the movie Cascade, he doing all this stuff on the skates on the floor. That's where it started from. We took it from roller skates to the floor. So we took the wheels off, if you want to say, and put it to the floor. But the different concept between our style and their style was people were dancing, but they were doing it in one spot. They had started over. We call it repeats, but they were just real fast in one spot. We were the first ones when we skated from here to way over there. And it's like they said, "Man, they moving with theirs." it was a culture shock for a lot of them because the crews were like still hitting their knees, and they're like, man, they don't hit their knees. We didn't do none of the things that they were doing. So we kept on trying to excel at it because we never knew what was going to come at us. And we had our first run-in with another crew, which was Untouchables. We met Untouchables. That was around the same time.
That was on nature though.
Yeah, because we came to Decatur. I think it was what's it called?
Motions or something.
It was Motions. I think Sharon owned that too. But it's like, and Chris, you know this to be true. You remember that because this is when we was wearing the hard hair days. You know, like everybody had the flip dudes and all that. And that's how we first met them. They didn't know anything about us. We looked like just some guys with some, group dance shirts on. We had purple shirts on. I never forget it. We had our little nicknames on the back. We had on our we had Jordans on or something. But we came in there, and of course, people like, who's that? What a crew is that? And they, what are y'all, man? I remember Chris even looking at us, I'm like, what's up with y'all? He's real suave. Chris Chapman, he would just walk up to us, he's like, what y'all do? He was real smooth with it. Like, we dance. He said, oh, y'all dance? Okay. So he went off in the cut, and we saw these other guys with the pant leather shoes on and clean cut polos. We're like, what's going on there? And that's why we said preps. And we're like, oh, and Will was like, well, that's another crew right there. We're like, oh yeah. And of course, me and him, we in the mirror just and all of a sudden, we were out there again. We're like, oh no, not again. And they walked on the floor. So what we didn't understand, we were trying to figure out, they started there, but everybody knew them. And
that was their house.
That was their house. And they were still doing, and Chris, you know it's true. They were doing their style, and they were doing styles where they were like, they were on the floor, and they were doing something almost similar to how we met Gisnam. As far as like, they were doing a lot of stand-up stuff and doing all the stuff together. But they had their set routines, but it didn't involve actual battling groups. But they had dance, they had that certain dance style that they did up there. So we, coming from our side of town, we were into aggressive dancing. So all our dances ended with, we grabbing you and all that. So, make a long story short, y'all know what happened now. And after that point, I think that's when Sharon had the dance contest, and that's what really got us the more props in Decatur because all the groups got into it, and we beat out the other groups and we won that. That's how we won the showcase to be in Success video. We actually won that from a dance contest. Everybody.
Wow, a lot of groups.
Yeah, I can't name all the Crowd Pleasers was one of them. And Crowd Pleasers was they were another nice group as far as like Rivalry group. But we got along so much because we were like on such the same similar like kind of like thinking, and we started like a lot of props. But Crowd Pleasers were the first ones we ever seen to use so many different props. These guys would come in dressed clowns, this, and they added that art form of like just trying to make it a full show. So when we came in, it was like our business. Like, okay, we came in, we finna come do this right here, and then we're gonna walk out. Like it's like we want to wait for like the crowd response, and then we would dance. We got to a point where we'd dance and just leave. We didn't want to know who won or not. And sometimes we left a lot of trophies because they were like, man, y'all won. We did. Oh, we did, because we never got our trophies at a lot of places. And a lot of the crews that we see now, when we were transitioning, they're not really around no more as far as like the original ones. But by the time 14K and Obsession came in, we were still doing our thing, and they still had enough respect for us not to actually be like, step up. Yeah, they didn't really they wouldn't run up on us because they'd be like, yo, those guys been in the lab too. Because everybody started going into the lab as it started changing. Now, like I said, there's no disrespect to other crews, but we were doing our own thing, but it was always the same people. That's how we became so cohesive, because everybody in our crew were the exact same people. I woke up night and day with them. Will and that, he's right next door. So it's the same people formulating this style of dancing. And to where you had other crews that were like jumping crews. That's why I was telling you earlier, there's not that many crews out there like original crews, because you cannot tell what was their original style was when we were doing it, battling other groups. And the other groups, they know who they are, but the original persons in those groups are really hard to like come by. That's why I'm saying, even they'll tell you, but it's been the same people with us.
But I mean, I had a bunch of groups like Jam Silk.
I checked it back. Jam Silk was actually a crew. We did work with Jam Silk. We almost tried to put Jam Silk and A.P.R. names together. That is the first crew I forgot about that. We almost ended up working with those guys at one time.
A couple of obsessions, yeah. So Darrin used to be an obsession too.
Right.
They were telling they had the whole Decatur side locked out for a long time too.
They sure did.
Man, we've been with a lot of different groups. So I mean, every time we turn around, we saw a familiar face in a new group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we could never figure out like why you left your man. They were why you left. So and so going to jail. They didn't want to practice.
Yeah.
They got burnt out, and that was a lot of crews. But no matter where we went, people they knew of us. But every now and then you had the ones that want to test the water, you know, because we did call it testing water. Like, you know, no matter where we went, we usually by ourselves, but some kind of way it'll just go through the pipeline, and next you know we left standing there like, and it's like, oh, and 9 times out of 10 they'll wait for you and see you still dancing. And they won't approach us, but then as the group started changing up, I guess that's when 14K, we first seen them perform was Carlos them, because Carlos, you know, he was in a lot of different groups too, even with this. But when he transitioned and got with them, he added his flair, but when we first seen them, we were at the Silver Fox. And I'm telling you, we was off in the corner, and then we ought to have a little whatever, and we didn't know they were calling us out, because actually they did give us a little call out like what's up? Because I think they wanted us to come behind them and dance to see I think it was like kind of like a passing of the torch thing that said like if y'all still got this is what we doing now. But we never answered to them. But we did go back in the lab in the following, you know, I think the following was the Sunday when we went there. We went up there and, you know, we danced again, and then we added some more special flips and like, oh, y'all been in the lab. And I'm gonna tell you, when we first seen them, it threw us off for a minute because we were like, oh, okay, when they flipped that up. Because it was no more like how we used to do it. We actually started changing on the guard. Right? But we said, okay, but still, we were still sticking our own style. So when we started passing the torch, we were like, I said, man, we still said they still can't get our original style. And to this very day, it's like somebody got to keep a hold of it. So we added like 14, the style they doing now, we can do it all day and night. But it's the point. We'll do it if it had to be done. Right. But we still love our, you know, the heart and soul of what we do as far as we call it. We had different names for it. I don't want to get everybody confused as far as like how many different styles it is. But some people be calling it crunk. Some people have back now I'm not talking about how you saw like Chris Brown. Yeah, a lot of people call it. I mean, as far as like just in general, we had one more name, but I can't even believe I can't think. Yeah, Nitro. That's the main one we use, Nitro. Because the reason we said Nitro because it was always like just high energy music. And like I said, we were on the cruise dancing that fast at that time, and two crucial them will tell you from the point blank, they watched us, they idolized it, and they were going to dub, you know, all these different talent shows. They patterned themselves after us as far as like that's where our speed dancing from. They kept trying to, you know, they'll try to do it, but to this very day, you know, they still give us our props to this day. All of them do really, and it's mad respect because we saw a lot of great dance groups and a lot of groups. We were never really the group to come in and say, oh, we gonna get y'all, y'all can't get us, we gonna get y'all. And they'll tell you that. We never really boasted ourselves like that. But back in the day, man, I mean, it changed just like every other thing changes too. That passed over the torch. But when we seen it, we made sure that we were able to, you know, adapt to it. So we adapted to it, but at the same time, we still who we are at the same time. And so a lot of cats, like I tell you, they don't know where a lot of the stuff came from. But you have the people in there. It's a lot of history made because when we were going to Jelly Beans, I'm telling you, TLC, all these groups that are out, man, got real big, that was their spot. We were watching all these people, and these people was like, just like me, I'm sitting here, we were talking to them like this, chilling, left, all of them, everybody was like communicating. 2PD, everybody that's in Atlanta knew that spot right before Cascade, and I have not seen one movie or anything. They got all these other movies, but these movies are representing mostly New York, Breakers, you know, all the pop locking and all that, even like in Step It Up. They're being intricate. A lot of things are like, man, that's jamming, you know, like the whole little choreography things going on. But nobody ain't bringing the fire, like, just like as far as like just from this side, from the south or in the east west coast, however you want to put it. We don't. There's no one out there. There's not one movie made from this standpoint. We've never seen it, and a lot of people won't say it, but they know they got a lot of stuff from the south. You know, as far as like what we're doing. And people take it in there because it don't matter from Florida all the way down there, like, man, skating and Yankee, oh yeah, we got that. You'll see them doing it. And you know how they even tried to give, what was it? When Sierra did 1-2 Step. Yeah. And we thought the Devon was like, okay, they're going to bring that because we said 1-2 Step. And we saw her walking up, we said, okay, they're going to bring the video now. You know, she started over, but she just did the back and forth walking on it. Like, you know, 1-2 Step, 1-2 step. Again. Yeah, that's what I said, wait a minute, that's not
dance too. I mean,
Sarah would kill it, so we couldn't understand why they had to doing that.
She did, let me see you 1-2 step. I'm like, exactly. Beat was jamming. I'm like, damn, ladies and gentlemen, like, we can tear this up.
Yeah.
And they saw the video, and she just like, what?
No! Everybody was like, oh my God, you know,
like original dancers, like, we're like, man, damn, man, nobody really ATL style yet. Still didn't do it. To this day, the only group that actually did it was crowd pleasers, you know, with Outkast.
Yeah, I told you, man, crowd pleasers. I'm gonna tell you, crowd pleasers is the only one that I've seen that actually added some flair of Atlanta style and tried to actually give us our props and took it and used that minute of however they had it, even when they came out with their own thing. They said, you know, they were trying to represent Atlanta, and you know, he's the only one. I'm the only group. Every other group that came from Atlanta, they either converted or they did what they did to get on the scene. I don't care who it was, but there has been nobody out there besides crowd pleasers that came out there and represented Atlanta with our style. Now, not taken away from like how 14K calls them, you know, bringing the new style. That's the new era. But I'm saying as far as like the originator of Nitro, skating, the whole jelly bean scene, the whole forefathers of shaking it up, all the shaking ups and all that stuff. That's all you seen from the originators. It was like who had the best skates, who had the best yeets. I mean, you could win a talent show just by your skating alone. Just like the different moves you had with skating, it was just all about the, you know, the fluidness of it, of the you know, different transitions, different movements. It wasn't so much of like before they got into the stop freeze motion how like 14K did, because they played more with the music then, to whereas we rolled along with whatever beat it was. So if the beat was like da 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 da, we da 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 to every sound in the song. To a 14K. Yeah. Oh, everybody wrote it. But I mean, of course, the main show was like, ooh, here come the ding, ding, ding. Yeah, break the groove.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, y'all know most crews needed it because you know they want to show up and be like and all of a sudden like, man, I'm gonna die, man. Man, here you go, ding, ding, thank God. And you been on phone trying to like wave it out, man. How long we got? All right, don't forget, man. Get up on count 4. Remember, hey, man, don't forget, dog. Hey, stand up, turn back around. All right, here you come. Hey, get up. Hey, remember you started front, you up front. Go, man. Yeah, woo. So it was a lot of funny stuff going on, and people don't know behind us. I mean, all the crews know this. You be talking, so a lot of times when you're like the one that you see that's off the most is the one that's usually the one running his mouth. Cause he's like, get up on that phone. He go, and he the one tell him turn around, but he all up there. Oh yeah. So we were going. He had some funny times, but a lot of people didn't know all this stuff was going on with it. It was something that's been on my mind. Now back in the day, this is dealing with like Bobby Brown and some more people. We were at there was a club called Kicks. Another one that Sharon showed us. Actually, Sharon had a partner. It was Kicks up there in Kennesaw. We met. What was Bobby Brown's dance name? Heart and Soul. If y'all look at the MTV, the Music Awards, or was it the Beach? I don't know which one it was. Music Awards. When they did that dance when him and his brother broke off and did that shake up and all that was us. And they started. They kept asking us over and over again because we had just won another little dance contest that they had in Kicks. I've been wanting to put that. I said, if there's a way I'll put them on blast like that. I know it's not a big deal now, but for us when we were small, y'all took away a lot of dreams, man. We were mad at y'all because they didn't give us no props. Because we were like so stupid, you know. A lot of dance crews are, but we were like, yeah, man, Heart and Soul, man, the Bobby Brown dancers. Hey, do that thing y'all just did, and we were like, okay. You know, we shake it up. We're like, that's cool. Man, we sit in the living room so you can imagine. We're like, look, Bobby Brown dancing. Every little step they getting off, and all of a sudden they broke out the sun change. Like, man, what they finna do? They walking it over, and all of a sudden they like. You like, oh! We'll be together. Oh, yeah. Come on, let's sing.
Bobby Brown's dancers. Okay, so let me try it with them. Okay. This is gonna be new for comedy. So now, have you seen these new walk, don't walk signs with the pictures? Have you seen this? For walk, they have a guy like this. For don't walk, they have a kid with a truck tire on his head. Hot Zoe, dance! All right, let's go here this way, and then why don't you introduce yourself to the people?
Well, everybody, my name is Derek, better known as Plain Old D.
Plain old D. Yeah. D. And your name?
My name is Will, better known as Fly Tie Will.
No, that's one thing you have to understand. You have to understand, he's not doing this, you know, for no reason. The punctuation involved with his name, you have to do this, or else it's not the same word. You know, like he said, my name is Will. You know, when he does that, that's real important. Tell him your name again.
Fly Tie Will.
That's real important. That's part of it. I don't want to miss my favorite part. That part where y'all get together and do that part. Valerie Bertinelli is here. Where's that part? Where's that part coming? This is the part right here. Yes, this is the part. This is the part. Yes. I love that. Hey, Bobby, the student ain't never as good as the teacher. Come, Bobby.
DJ Two.
Oh my God,
man. Two was like, hey man, y'all see what they did on that, man?
Oh yeah, Two. Who knew?
It was
Man, and we called Will. Man, they just stole that thing from us. I just want to get y'all back for that. So if anybody look at me, y'all know what y'all did. Y'all think we gonna forget about that? That's 100 us for years. Yeah, it is.
one more hunt though. One more hunt. We were doing this. What was that show called? On TV 69. It was a TV show we choreographed the girls for.
Oh, Star Showcase.
Star Showcase. Dion's 21. This is another club back then, but this one Dion was still with the Falcons or whatever. But
Yeah.
we had a show up there. Now MC Hammer, he had his dance. I forgot what's the woman that did on the big Hammer. Yeah. All them came into the came to Club 21 that night. They were coming in. And they
Don't act like y'all don't remember.
They watched the recording or whatever. They came up to us and was like, yo man, y'all ready to go? I'm gonna take y'all with us, man. Y'all just go. You gotta roll with us. We're like, you don't know what happened?
Yeah.
Me and Dan like, yeah, we can go. We gotta go right now. We like, let's go. Guess what?
We know what out of Matthew, man.
This guy named Matthew was like managing us a little bit or whatever.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
He was like, no, y'all can't know. You gotta talk to us.
You gotta talk to us. We gotta talk money right now, guy. We're like, hey, dog, what you talking about? No, guy, let me handle it.
Money don't get in the way of fame though sometimes, but it's both the same. But
we got
a chance
break
like that when Hammer was hot and all that stuff like that, we could have.
Yeah, we missed a lot of trains because that made us with dancers. You know, dancers get so personal, and we take things literally, and it's like it's a lot of passion behind it, and it's like all this work and all the work and play aside. When it comes to people dancing and who are really into dancing, the smallest thing, and you're a harbor for life. I mean, on campus, like losing to a dance group, you'll wait till you doggone this 60, like, yeah, remember this? Oh, you can't do it no more. Yeah, And if you got them, down the road, it'll give you some peace of mind. But for dancers, for a lot of dancers, they don't get that closure. So we missed a lot of ships because we weren't getting that closure. So we started harboring ourselves from people. That's why everybody they'll see us like, man, what was that group name? We start staying out in the limelight because we were so worried about people taking from us because we had got slapped on the ass so many times, and and people, we seen so much of us out there and weren't getting recognition for it. I mean, I could put a lot of people on blast who we choreographed, people who've been around, people that videoed and did something else with it. But like I said, we were real humble, thinking like, well, you know what? When we get our time, they're gonna know it's us, and this is gonna happen. But roles change, and we end up doing other things as far as that music. Now, we producing and DJing and things like that. Now, we are able to take certain different platforms now, even better ones. But as far as originators, there's not many groups out there that could pass down their legacy because it's been watered down. But it is some cats out here that, you know, besides yourself and some other guys that actually seen, you know, came in right there doing the transition. I say the passing of the torch that can actually pass it along. You know, Chris and the other people, Carlos and Guess and John, I mean, all of them, Zanard, everybody, FTC, Ant. I mean, some of the original guys, if they were to get together, I'm pretty sure, you know, we could get some of that, the original flair that was right there. They can bring, you can bring that back. But like I said, you know, everybody is scattered and it's like, it's only so many. But as far as Atlanta style dancing, or if you want to say, they say best at skating, best at shaking or whatever, we stuck to it because it's like, that was who we, you know, that's who we were, and that's who we are now. And we never threw it away. Most cats, when they transform, they're like, okay, this is what's happening now. Dump out the old, in with new. But it wouldn't have been no new if it wasn't no old. And that's the difference between New York and Atlanta. They understand that, and they're like, that's why they get so much more credit, because they actually pass down the basics to the new cats who take it to another level. So we're down here, we're so interjected and closed off circles like, no, that's their crew. But you ever show that crew so and so and so, if you get a new crew going. Now, if your crew hot for a minute and all of a sudden y'all die down, oh, they jumping ship and they going to the next side of the crew. So it wasn't that many crews besides when two crews roll together and like crowd pleasers. I have not seen any other groups original with the original members still existing. Besides how like Carlos and Gary. Carlos and Gary are the last. I mean, even they know it from that point on. Carlos, they're the last ones that actually they know both styles. And you see them, they still keeping it.
Like if you see us right now dancing right now, we'll still be able to bring fire and do the same. We need the same flair.
But the original, you know,
1980
man, all you know your name if I'm not thinking of any of y'all, man, but. The original ones, anybody that can say jelly beans and say, yeah, I was right there, you know what I'm talking about. Anyone that can say motion, anybody that can say volleyball.
For me, like you said, original crews were, yes, FTC, well, FTC was a pass down, but yes, what's the original now? Obsession, Jam Silk,
yep. It was so many of them, man. Stray Cats. Straight Cats, man, that was another. But they were Straight Cats, though.
You know the guy, you know Shawty, right? What's my name?
Shawty.
He was in Straight Cats.
Another original. He was right there. He seen it. He seen a lot of transitions. I remember him. He stayed a lot. He was over there a long time.
Like, man, y'all also y'all I want to tear y'all up. Yeah. You know, he's a comedian now, so he probably tells up anyway with jokes.
Yeah. Man, it's a lot. It's a lot to be said. You know that we could say. I mean, it's a lot of ill will that I still harbor toward certain things that I
like what? I mean, like this is the time. I mean,
yeah, man, but it's just like it's not because you know how it is. Everybody had their own versions and I can say opinions about certain things. Yeah. But you know, I'm gonna tell anybody. I mean, the industry. I mean, not to like turn to a cuss fest, but it's shit.
Yeah.
And as a whole, you know, I'm gonna tell you, dancers out there street down. I mean, you don't get to see the behind the scenes all the time. You know, everybody turn things, they water it down and they commercialize it and make it like whatever it is. In other words, in the dance industry, it's not about who you know, it's about who you were and who you are now. See, every dancer live for the now instead of living for like later on. It's what you can do that everybody is going to remember you for when it comes to dancing. Back in the day, we had so much pride as far as like who you were, who you represented, what crew you were a part of. And for us, when we were coming up, like when I'm saying like FTC, they were like some of the last crews that were actually passed down. FTC passed their name down on different crews. Bobby came to us and actually said, "Here, man, I think y'all gonna take it to another level." And he passed it to us. We honestly say we have not done that because we have not seen anyone that, I mean, like as far as like if I was to go to a cat like, man, I like what y'all doing, man. Hey, y'all want to try to learn this and do this right here and. You know, maybe y'all can like take it and do that with it, because everybody's like, you know, like you don't know how long they're gonna be together, but it's not like they'll keep it and say, okay, we're gonna roll with this, because like I said, they're for the now, to where we're like, you know, it's like that longevity thing, and it's like, you know, this is what we have, we're gonna keep this right here, we're gonna keep this foundation, and we're gonna go with it. So it's a lot of groups out there that I had mad respect for, and I still respect to this day, and at the same time, it's a lot of crews that really can't say that they're original because they never stayed with their groups. Now, when I say original, I mean, like I'm saying, Chris and them, when we first met up together, everybody was original. They stayed with their groups. When all those battles going on, all the time, Maze, Doug, all these talent shows going, y'all know y'all names, everybody know who I'm talking about. It was original. And once that torch got like passed in the middle, everybody kind of forgot exactly what was what. And that's one thing we said, even after it passed that night at Silver Fox.
Yeah.
People forgot. Yeah, they forgot where they came from.
That's probably what slowed our group down a lot. Yeah. Like, as far as like keeping us from really pushing real hard a long time ago was when Anthony died. You know, it was always Willie. You know, DJ Will was always Will, Darrin. Yep. Them two always hung out with me and Anthony. But I mean, I never did get a chance to really, you know, talk to him again and say, you know, bye to him and stuff like that because I was in the hospital. Mm-hmm. You know, when he got shot, I was in the hospital. But it was just weird, man. I mean, I can't even put my finger, I can't even say the right thing, but when Anthony died, it took a lot of fire from him, from Will, took a lot of fire from me, took a lot of fire from everybody, to where they wouldn't.
Yeah, nobody really want to practice on to do anymore because it's like, man, because that's the first loss you had to deal with as far as like with that crew thing, because we thought it was like some like a for everything to where, man, you know, if you get that first, I'm gonna pull you in. If y'all make it that first, I'm gonna pull you in. Well, no other crews were thinking about that because we had so many doors open to us and we were being pulled in so many directions, but we didn't have nobody just going like, hey man, let me place you right there. Like you can, like we can do today, like we can do it now to other crews that were like, okay man, let me show you this. Because that's how it is. You want to be able to say to somebody, hey man, well I can help you, but even with that you get burnt because you can, we help a lot of people, you know, it's like the big car syndrome.
People then, you know, it's time for the turnaround or whatever, you know, it's always like, you have me treated for me, you know, hold on, I'll be right back. I got you.
You know that famous, yeah.
That's the famous one. I got you.
No man, I remember when they get to that certain point. So that door even closes off from a lot of other people. To where, I mean, now how about this? How many people y'all know as far as like family members, just as far as family? I mean, this is my real blood brother. Dancing and all, we're doing everything now, making albums together and all this. You don't see that. And as far as like, I mean, my mom brought us up real close. So A.P.R. as a whole, and I say original and like just the whole original crew, like Will, like a brother. All of us went to school together. All of us played together. Just like how you did, what's the movie like Idlewood? Like you see how Outkast and Cuz or whatever equipment, how you gonna put that? Same thing. I mean, everybody bled, sweat, played together. I mean, grew up together completely to this very day. And we still hang with the very exact same people and keep in that same circle to this day, whether they're doing their own thing or not. But it's that same cohesive unit. And that's one thing that kept us like grounded because we weren't like, we had this thing about like we wouldn't want to jump to other crews or share things with other crews or be a part of other crews.
Share our movie. That's one thing we never did.
We never share because we never would open up to other people because we're like, well, no, they're gonna show it to them. But dang, he not with them no more. And boom, they with another crew. So and then that same person with this old crew, they chopping the other crew up and dissect everything from that crew. And that crew is null and void now because all their moves have been dissected, changed up, revamped, and bam, and that's a whole other name. So it took the legacy away from their crew. Like I said, not being funny, but besides the people that were in Gist, Too Crucial, Gist, and I mentioned some Paid in Full. It's a couple other ones that like were still being original and untouchables. There are no crews that were like actually together besides, you know, ourselves and what's ICU and all the rest of them crowd pleasers and stuff. It's like it wasn't no more. I mean, for me it wasn't because I had never seen them as far as like out there. I mean, I see a lot of the crews pattern themselves now after what we saw 14K them do and all them when Carlson got together, Gary them got together with the style they doing now. When they first brought that out, we were like, oh, they bringing on the next thing. And all the other dance crews you see now doing all the, you know, like stuff and just we call it pause dancing because, you know, to us it's like a bunch of, you know, freezing, pausing, and, you know, you just break out, but it's in segments. It's not. It can go for a long period of time, but it's mostly in segments. It's like stop motion dancing for me. So those guys right there, they brought a new era, and then you got the younger guys with our different crews feeding off that. So even to this very day, when they see us and we do a skate like an original thing, the younger cats are like, "What's that?" And it's like starting all over again because they don't even know that style existed because they only know what they know now.
What they see in New York, when they grew up in New York,
And Step It Up 3 and all this, like, ain't nobody, you know, like how it was. It's not nothing like the moves where they almost had it right, just like, what was it, Got Served? Like Got Served, you try to make their own version of that, but it's close to that, how they were doing it with the girls and like going back and forth, but that's not how it was when we were doing it. I mean, you stood in their face, but I think it would start an actual movement when I say, if you were to actually get somebody that was willing to actually sit down and say, hey, you know what, I would invest into this and let me see exactly what it is that you guys used to do. Even if it means like choreographing or showing different groups who the hell you were in order to battle the other dance groups and show them like how it was. If you want the real story, you know, you get with the real people and sit everybody down and everybody say, okay, this is this, and then you present it to that. I mean, just to keep it like it is. If y'all want to make it something real, everybody come together and make it real. Because we hear all this, and a lot of people talking and saying what they want to do and how they want to do it, but this is the first time somebody actually took the time, you know, took the time out and said, hey, let me put this out here. Because we stay quiet. Everybody that always asks us to come places and be places, they never see us. And they wonder why. Because it's really never what they say it is. And I'm not being funny. It never is. It's always something for us to self-gain or something like that. And we try to stay real with it. So when you hear something like old school reunion, old school this, it's never really an old school reunion. I mean, it's something else that's happening with it. But I promise you, every cat out there that knows us, if you go back as far as we do, I mean, age-wise or however you want to put it, they know we're being real about it. And they know who you are, and y'all know what actually happened. People know, but me and David, we were so serious about it, you know, watching this and freaking out off Michael and freaking out about like, man, that's gonna be us right there. Oh, I can't wait to wear on stage. And little did we know, we would get our asses handed to us because people wanted, everywhere we went, they were so freaked out about what we were doing, and we been just showing them like, yeah, you know, patting them on the back, yeah, you guys are la la la, and then, well, man, I'm gonna take you guys da 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 da. But when the lights went off, that's all you heard. It was the lights going off. Albert Hall, Willie Williams, Anthony Mathis, David and Darrin. That was it.
We are A.P.R.
It's ATL STYLE, man.